Hi everybody, it's Nicole with Celestial Messages, and I'm here to bring you your December forecast for 2020. So we all know that January 2020 was a very intense month and brought in a lot of intense energies into this year. Well, you better believe that the end of the year, that we're going out with a bang just as much as we came in with one. The energies this month are extremely intense. I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give it a 10. This month is the jump off. The energies are coming into play to crystallize and bring new paradigms, new energies into the physical world. Jupiter and Saturn are really big stars this month, and they are now in each other's sights. The first big energy of the month is the total solar eclipse on December 14th, 2020. Mind you, this is being recorded December, I don't even know what day it is, 3rd or 4th? 3rd, I think. And we are like literally in between eclipses, so it's eclipse season. So if people are feeling off, headaches, just there's kind of a bit of nervous energy with the lunar eclipse in Gemini that just passed for a few people. I noticed headaches, things like that. So the first big energy of the month is the total solar eclipse that occurs on December 14th of 2020. And it occurs in the beautiful fire sign of Sagittarius at 23 degrees. Solar eclipses are like major new beginnings. This one is sitting with the galactic center, so you better believe that it's got a lot of power and a lot of powerful energy. And also because when we have an eclipse, in order for a full moon or a new moon to be a lunar or solar eclipse, it has to be within a certain orb of the moon's nodes. And the moon's nodes aren't planets, they are points in the sky. But when the moon or the sun get close enough to these nodes, we have what we call lunar or solar eclipses. So this one is pretty close, so we will definitely feel the power of it. And interestingly enough, the solar eclipse that's happening on the 14th is happening exactly on Donald Trump's eclipse point, because he was born under this exact type of eclipse, but this eclipse is sitting on his south node. So it will be really interesting to see, what plays out for Donald Trump this month and even the coming 6 months. But I mean, we know with all of the election stuff, some astrologers say when an eclipse hits your south node like that, especially if you were born on one, it could be like you coming out of power. I don't know. I will be interesting to see what happens. I do plan on doing another video about the solar eclipse that is happening, so watch out for that coming sometime soon this month. So Mars is now charging fully ahead in his home sign of Aries, so giving a lot of power to Mars, but it's giving us the courage to move forward into the new energy. And Mars perfects its third and last square to Pluto and Capricorn this month. Now, I just want to go backwards a little bit and talk about some of the energies that we have experienced throughout 2020. So obviously, the big thing that happened January 12th, 2020 was the Saturn and Pluto conjunction. So things that Saturn and Pluto can represent, the fear of disease, the energy can often represent an epidemic or a pandemic. So clearly we saw that come to fruition this year. The last time they met up was the fear over the AIDS epidemic, and I do believe the year was 1982. There's economic collapse, hard times. They are occurring this year in the sign of Capricorn, and Capricorn represents the government. So there are things that need to break down in order to be rebuilt in a new way. And January 12th, 2020 was actually the date that the first COVID deaths were announced and that China released the genome of the virus. So another major aspect that we experienced in 2020 was the Jupiter and Pluto conjunctions, and we had 3 of those hit this year. So every time that there was a hit, there were spikes in cases or deaths of COVID, because Jupiter makes things larger and Pluto represents the virus and or death. So the 3 dates that this happened was March 20th, 2020. So all around the world, people were put on lockdown. Kids didn't go back to school. The next date was July 10th, 2020, and on this day, the U.S. recorded over 65,000 cases, and it was the highest daily figure since the pandemic had begun. And then the next date was November 12th, 2020, and again, we can see the cases beginning to rise, the death toll going up, and some places around the world are put back into lockdown. Now, I just wanted to go over that with you to just show you how astrology works, how the energies play out. So, the planets, the signs, they mean certain things. They bring this energy about, and then we can see it play out on Earth. And just to mention that, like Pluto, these outer type of planets, they affect the collective. They may affect you if it hits a point in your chart and this and that, but other than that, they are collective planets. So what I want to talk about next is the Jupiter and Saturn conjunction that is going to occur on the winter solstice. So this is a lot of energy occurring in one spot. So basically, Jupiter and Saturn meet up every 20 years or so. Jupiter is represented by Zeus and symbolically overthrows his father, Kronos, also known as Saturn, creating a new order for the next 10 years before Saturn gains the upper hand again. This year is even more significant because there is a much larger cycle at play. Every conjunction between Jupiter and Saturn takes place in an element for around 200 years. So December 21st, 2020 signifies the larger cycle, moving from the Earth cycle into the air cycle. This represents a huge shift in the collective consciousness. So Jupiter is moving from its Earth energy, which is solid, dense material, and now into the great mutation in air. This represents a shift within the collective. So what are some things that air represents? What can we expect? Air is all about ideas, communication, social, and people-oriented. You can expect to see huge advancements in technology, especially AI. The awareness of the collective should quickly raise with the lightness that air brings. The possibility of a one world or global government, whether you view that as positive or negative, is a possibility in the Age of Aquarius. We will see groups that have a lot of pull over politics with their sheer numbers and the pressure that adds. Money won't hold as much value as the collective mind to enforce and bring about change. Many astrologers believe that these planetary alignments and it happening on the winter solstice really are solidifying and bringing in the Age of Aquarius. I mean, all you have to do is look at the last year and see people now work from home more over the computer. Children can do schooling over the computer. It's a lot about technology. Technology is advancing at rapid rates, and that is represented by the Age of Aquarius. So in 2020, the coronavirus pandemic took hold. There was economic and financial collapse. Everyone knew we had to emerge into a new way of being. The old paradigm no longer works. Everyone knows in their hearts that when we come out on the other side of this year, we will be changed from how we started 2020. And so Pluto, the outermost planet, will move into the sign of Aquarius in 2024. By then, we will have integrated much of the Aquarian energy. Pluto will stay in Aquarius until 2043. This will be a generation of children born into the collective Aquarian energy. So I just want to end off by talking about the full moon in Cancer at 8 degrees, and it wraps up the 2020 year. What a year it's been. It was difficult at times, enlightening at others, but no one can deny how they learned lessons, learned what is most important, and advanced spiritually. None of us are the same people we were when 2020 started. So let's end the year by nurturing ourselves and those we love with this Cancer energy. Let us release the heaviness 2020 brought and get ready for this new energy by showing self-love. And I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you for supporting me, sharing, subscribing, etc. It means the world to me. And if you haven't done so, please hit that subscribe button, like, and share. Have a wonderful, wonderful December season, and I will see you guys, I guess, I'm going to come out with an eclipse video. So I'll see you guys soon. Bye.